Did you want your knights to be more knightly? This book Codex does that for you. So, Imperial Knights' best new bit of piece is that they kind of do, and unlike Chaos Knights that do a Psychic Knight, they do a Chaplain Knight, basically. Preceptor and Canis Rex can do some knightly teachings, which basically give out a chaplain-like aura to the available armigers around them. The idea is to make the book feel more like knights of old, where they have their guy riding the horse or whatever to battle, and they have their squires getting their armor ready or helping them out. That's what this book's doing. So that's the kind of the big important thing that I found interesting in here, is that those chaplain, I think it's Preceptor, and I think Canis Rex is the other one on there, can do their knightly teachings. They expound upon something and bring their wisdom to the battlefield by doing things like giving a 6-up feel no pain, or that could be a 5-up feel no pain if they have a bondsman ability attached to it. Exploding 6s, different kind of option they add, which I think is really neat and really unique. And thankfully, this book gives you a relic that allows you to do it on a 2-up, because just like a normal chaplain, it's a 3-up. And if you play with chaplains a lot, you know that you fail a 3-up a lot of the time. In a 5-turn game, you're gonna fail it once. You have a chance to fail it twice pretty good, and a lot of times that could be the end of your game. So I'm pretty happy that they gave this book a chaplain ability that you can attach on, or a chaplain relic that I can attach onto one of these guys, because while they're not always the most exciting, because their gun is okay, they are going to be very important to the game, to the army as a whole, as it tries to utilize abilities to make all their little guys stronger. Because just like Chaos Knights, just like everything else, this book is going to be a couple big guys with a few small guys. Best combo for Imperial Knights. There's a couple different upgrades you can do on your models. It will give them like a special kind of name class. They do get a Crusader ability with them, but you don't have to worry about that. But the more interesting ones are, there's 2 of them that give you ability to pick your own extra household kind of trait thing. So you have your normal household you've picked, and then you can add another one on top of it, so you can do some kind of interesting combos with it, which all usually revolve around making the knight more survivable, which is, we know, the most important thing in this game is any way you can make these guys last longer on the table will usually give you a chance to win, especially since you have objective secured armigers and everything else. Now, you didn't really get a new unit in this book, unlike the Chaos one, but you kind of have that options to kind of do a little more. You kind of invent characters within your knights, which I think is really neat. You kind of give them their magister or the other knightly names. I mean, they really went super hard into the knight aspect. I know when I've painted for a client knights, I had to name, they all got different names. I had to do freehand names on them. So that seems to be something important. I'm going to expect that this is going to show up. I mean, wouldn't it be it'd be pretty funny to do a Monty Python style big knight army with a bunch of little knights running around with coconuts in their hands. But the best thing on this one is just, I think this ability that you can create these heroes and create these characters and make these little combos of everything is unique, which I think is pretty cool. So the previous edition really was, you had Lords of War. They took one of the houses that allow a reroll. They can like a reroll of 1 hit or reroll the amount of damage on it. And this book is kind of a really rework of it from the bottom up. They're no longer just big monsters. They're trying to create these little teammates within your army as they kind of do these other little options, which I think is pretty neat. It makes it feel like an actual book versus some of the others where it's just like a bunch of Lord of Wars, a bunch of big plastic models you could buy on the table. Canis Rex is still in there. He bestows 2 knightly teachings, which feels pretty powerful. Again, I don't think he has any kind of pluses to it, so but everything else in there. And the other exciting thing I found through most of it is that the Power Fist is actually not -1 to hit anymore, which is huge because the Power Fist is really neat, and we always were frustrated that why is it -1 to hit? I'm just swinging this giant fist around and punching stuff. It's just to have less attacks than the chainsword. Most of the weapon upgrades that happen in Chaos Knights happen in this one. Full tilt is gone, so you don't have the same kind of advance and charge option. There is options to do some of that, but it's not nearly as widespread as everything else. Again, the book is really kind of pushing that you're not going to run a bunch of big guys. You have big and small, and I think this is kind of important in this setup. I know towards the end of the edition we kind of got objective secured armigers. They seem to be better in the Chaos one versus the Imperial one, but this game is going to be the kind of a similar thing. So it's going to be change how you play. You have to work together. Your pieces have to work trying to pass the oath they take, which have to take 2 of them per game. They're things you kind of have to do. One of them that the 2 that I find on there is always charging. Either heroically intervening or always charging, which seems pretty easy for this army because you're going to be moving fast. And the other one is making sure you always control objectives. And those are 2 things that make you win more. And if it starts kind of going bad, you'll lose your honor points, which is kind of annoying. But at least you can pick 2 that fit into your army style play, which means I'm coming at you and I'm taking your stuff. So this is kind of what this book is done. So it feels different. It just feels a lot more moving, engaging than the other books. That's what I kind of like about it. Meta-wise, I mean, you'll always have people playing knights. Again, the big thing with this one is that they've kind of given an ability that you can take a single knight in any Imperial army, and it won't break the Imperial's army's setup. So if you have them with Marines, they'll still have their Marines, they'll have their tactical doctrines, everything else on there. If you have some of the other options, it won't break that all wide roll. Which again, like for the new Astra Militarum, exploding, hitting on 6s causes auto wounds, which is important. It's one of those things that you'll maybe see how this army will go into it. You maybe see something where they need 3 objective secured armigers. You can quickly take one of those into an army as there's our single choice auxiliary heavy, super heavy. And they'll allow you to have some fast-moving, decent guns, little objective secured options. On the standpoint when they're fully available, they'll actually kind of be able to work and do stuff, which will be interesting. You have your 2 big guys and probably 7, maybe 8 little ones that are running around there, and so I expect them to kind of be again in that gatekeeper army. Nothing in here feels extremely brutal like some of the latest Nid and the Eldari stuff. So, which is good, which means you can build an army, get it ready to go, and you'll most likely not see a nerf coming in whatever kind of months. Everything feels kind of pointed correctly. Everything feels like it should work right. So I expect them to be kind of in the middle table, doing the the 50% win rate, which is good, which is where we want most of our armies to be, because you don't want something destroying everything all the time, because it means you will most likely not have your army stay the same way when a nerf or a fix or something else comes out. I like the book. I don't know if it plays the style I want to play. I think I kind of like Chaos Knights, much easier to keep track of bonuses. The oaths are a little clunky. They feel more like win more options, which can be annoying, because if you fail that, you start catastrophically failing. You start going your honor stuff, and you start Troth. I think it's going to call it Troth is the option where you start like, I've lost all my honor, I'm not nearly as good, which is I find kind of, but there's a ton of stuff that allows you to be count as more honor points or other options. So it's not like, well, how am I going to get 5 honor points if it only turns 5 turns long? This doesn't really work. That means I'm honorable turn 4. No, there is other kind of stacks and options that you can get them to go up higher. So it's not going to be as much. You got to ask that question on what's the point. So those are kind of all right. I like the chaplain idea, because again, a power that isn't counterable is pretty neat. I like that they gave him a relic that gives him a 2-up cast of it, which means that you can get something fairly guaranteed that's going to happen, which I think is great. I love all the character upgrades you can do, because they all have different stuff. Some of them have to be the warlord, because I guess they're the king or everything else. Some have to do other things. This is a very hefty book of rules. I think it's like 50 something pages of actual rules in here, which is a lot for an army that has a armiger, like 6, 7 different units, on the table. I mean, maybe 8 now with Canis Rex. So yeah, I mean, it's a neat book. I have Imperial Knights at home besides having Chaos Knights, so most likely I'll try it out to see if I like maybe the Imperial Knight ones better. I'm not always the biggest fan of the bookkeeping, but that's because I have to think of other ways to make it easier for me to do it, because I'm old and I forget. But this is Goat Boy. Thanks for watching Bulls. If you want to click on anything else or read any other reviews, click on around here, and I'll see you next time.
Cool. Yeah, that works.
Around here.
Well, would it make more sense to specifically call out the chaos?
Yeah, probably the chaos.
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
okay,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, do that again, and then be like, if you are more interested in chaos,
Yeah.
check out this video.
Right.
Whatever.
If hey, this is Goat Boy. Thanks for watching Bowls. Or is it watching Bowls or is it reading Bowl? What do you want to say?
Thanks for watching. Because
Oh,
I
wait.
usually do. This is
Goat Boy from
blank from Bowls. Thanks for watching. Whatever.
Yeah.
But you.
I got it.
This part's very whatever. You
Nebula.
want to do.
This is Goat Boy. Thanks for watching. This is Goat Boy from Bowls. Thanks for watching. If you want to click on some other Imperial Knights or Lord of War stuff, here's the Chaos Knight one. Click on it, read it on there, and you can see my opinion on that one, which I obviously like the best because I love Chaos. Wink. Wink.